Good morning, everybody, and welcome to What's Real in Real Estate. I'm Elie Morris with Signature Real Estate Group, and this is where we talk about what's really happening in the real estate market. I'm excited. Today we have my good friend and longtime mortgage lender, Louie Cordone. He'll be with us a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit to you in a minute. First, we're going to go through some numbers. I'll bore you enough.
I'll drink my coffee.
Drink your coffee. There we go. Well, I got to tell you, folks, we're going in the right direction. We have a 25-day supply of single-family homes. And as silly as that sounds, that's the best we've seen in a long, long time. 2,365 homes are available for sale. So when you think back, there was a time about 2 months ago, we had about a week's supply. 10-day supply, having almost a full month is pretty exciting, you know? Yeah. We sold 669 homes in the last 7 days, which equates to about 2,868 homes for the month. So we are not slowing down. We're just fortunate to be seeing more folks putting homes on the market. We also have 649 condos and townhomes available, and there's still 54 manufactured homes waiting for you to come over and take advantage of one of those. There's some great values in those too. A lot happening in Vegas, of course. There's always something happening in Vegas. One of the things I'm most excited about is this coming Thursday, Resort Worlds opens up. I was down by the Strip, so I took a drive by yesterday. Man, this place looks fantastic. Looks like it's really going to be an exciting new hotel. So they open up on Thursday. This weekend, Barrett Jackson is in town doing their famous car auction. And I saw pictures this morning in the paper about the Sphere. If you don't know what the Sphere is, Madison Square Garden, MSG is teamed up with the Sands Corporation, building this amazing, one-of-a-kind concert venue. It's supposed to be spectacular. From what I understand, that if you are, you speak French, you're sitting in a chair, show's being done in English, it converts to French for you, or German or Italian, whatever it is. It's just the most amazing thing. It's the first of its kind in the world, and that's typical for Vegas. By the way, if you think it's hot now, 113 degrees today, guess what? Death Valley, 125. So we're not so bad here. We're not so bad here at all. All right, I want to get right into this, my man. Louie Cordone is not only a great lender, he has been a great friend of mine for got to be close to 10 years, Louie, or maybe longer than that.
Longer than that.
It is longer than that, yeah. I met Louie through Corey Solomon, who's another great guy over at Fidelity Title on Rainbow. I'll never forget it.
Yes.
Louie and I went and grabbed lunch a week or so later, but we became fast friends, have been great friends ever since. Louie is a great lender. He's been in this business a long time. And let's just talk about well, tell everybody about yourself a little bit, Louie.
Well, I work for Guaranteed Rate Mortgage. I've been with them almost 5 years. I started in the business 27 years ago. And actually, how I started in the business, I have to go through my wife, Susie, you know very well. She was a processor back in Buffalo, New York, where I'm from. And when she came here, she got a job as a processor. And I was doing odd jobs. I was doing stand-up comedy. That's what brought me to Vegas in the first place. So what happened back then is if you worked for one club, you couldn't work for another. So you were working once every 6 weeks, and you had to make a living. So one day we were sitting in the backyard with my wife, and she figuring out what I want to do. So she says, "Why don't you be a loan officer?" I said, "Okay." So she taught me the business. My wife taught me the business. And 27 years later, I'm still doing it.
That's amazing. That's a long time, man.
That's how I started.
That's a long. I was going to get to it later, but let's talk about it now. Let's talk about your comedy career. I mean, you came here from Buffalo. You were driving a bread truck. Or was it a bread truck?
No, I was driving a bus, regular bus.
Oh, a bus. Oh, a bus. Oh, you were like the Ralph Cramden.
Yeah, I was the Ralph
I didn't.
Cramden
I don't
comedy.
know why. Okay. And you were doing stand-up comedy on the side in Buffalo.
Right.
What brought you? What made you decide to come out here?
Well, what happened was I was working. I was doing pretty good comedy-wise. You know, I was working not only working in Buffalo, I was working in the Buffalo area. You know, up until Toronto, Cleveland, Rochester, Pittsburgh. You know the area.
Yep.
Detroit.
Yep.
Where you're from. So I said, look, I was in my 30s, and I said, I want to do it. So we figured out where we would want to live where I didn't have to travel. You know, if you go to L.A., you know, it's you don't work in L.A. You work for free in L.A., and then you get paid gigs all the way around. So we decided on Vegas. All I wanted to do was get into the one of those shows and make my money and be happy for the next 30 years. And unfortunately, those jobs were locked up, if you know what I'm saying. Those people are never going to leave. And they were good comics, back then. And so I was just doing the comedy clubs and all that. So that's what made me come out here, and it was the best move I ever made.
What were some of the clubs you played? Anything we would know?
Oh, yeah, Catch a Rising Star, the Improv.
Okay.
Yeah, I was doing all those clubs.
So they had a Catch a Rising Star here.
Oh, yeah.
That was
in Bally's.
I went to the Catch a Rising Star in New York.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Right. At Bally's.
Okay.
That's where it was. And they had Catch a Rising Star. They had the Comedy Store over at the Dunes. The Improv was at Harrah's. And then... the Improv was at the Riviera, and then they moved to Harrah's. So it's kind of funny because the guy who was the entertainment director of Riviera was a guy by the name of Steve Sharippa.
Oh, you're kidding. Bobby Bacala.
Yeah, Bobby Bacala.
Oh,
yeah.
no kidding. That's interesting. I knew he did that. I didn't know that.
He was the entertainment director over at the Riviera. So, you had to pay homage to him every time you wanted to work the Riviera. So, I work for a lot of people.
So was he a good guy or what? Stinker?
Yeah, let's just say he was an entertainment director. We'll leave it at that. He was a good guy. He gave me an opportunity, so I'm not going to say he was a bad guy.
Yeah.
But we worked here, and I met a lot of good entertainers in the comedy world since I was doing it. It's kind of funny because I work with people who were nobodies starting out in the business, middle act, they're emceeing, and they were the headliners. Some of the names are Rosie O'Donnell, Chris Rock, Ray Romano. Those are just some of them off the top of my head that I work with over the years that end up being who they are, and great guys, great people. And some of them made it, some of them didn't. You used to have the traveling comics. You did stand up.
I did it too. Yeah, it was great. A lot of fun. Okay, it was my dream.
Yeah.
If I still could choose any career to be in, if I can just snap my fingers, that would be it.
If I had to pick a career, I'd be a professional golfer.
Okay.
I watch those guys play country clubs every week. I go, that's the life.
Yeah.
So that's what got me here, and I met some wonderful people since I've been here over the course of my 28 years of living here. I miss home, we miss the food. That's what we miss. You're in Detroit. You love that Detroit pizza and all the food that Detroit has to offer, and you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, listen, it's an old joke. I know you've heard this before about a couple that gets married, and the wife just wants to please her husband. She wants to make him a great meal every night, and she makes a 7-course dinner every single night, and she puts it on the table, and she says, honey, how do you like it? He goes, this is really good. It isn't like Mom used to make, but it's really good. Well, this goes on for weeks. Every night it's good, not like Mommy's. She's getting sick and tired of hearing this crap. So one day she's not paying attention. She burns the entire meal and figures, screw him. Here. He says, here's the dinner. He goes, how do you like this? He goes, now this is how Mom used to make it. So it really is whatever you grow up with.
Yeah.
Detroit could have the worst peaks in the world, but it's what I grew up with, so it's the best. Whatever you, it's true.
Right. I miss my buffalo food.
I'll bet. I know.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going back in August. We do because of COVID, we didn't go last year, but excuse me. We make it a point to go every year. We have family back east, so it's a good trend.
Well, let me ask you this then, Louie. 27 years in the business, a long time. What's the big difference between the business 27 years ago and today?
Well, technology has obviously kicked in. I remember when I first started in the business, we would have the clients come in and do loan apps. We had to literally handwrite loan apps. Now it's computerized. Now I don't even have to be there. I just say go online and look up rate.com/Louie Cordone and fill out your own. Technology has really changed our industry.
Yeah, it really has. What's the biggest challenge you see right now?
Well, in the Vegas market, probably
in the mortgage business in general.
It's just I think the internet and has taken over and it's kind of sad. And I mean this seriously. You have these internet companies. You know who I'm talking about.
Like Rocket Mortgage
right,
or whatever. Yeah.
people like that. I mean, to me, what I love about Guaranteed, you still have a loan officer.
Right.
And to me, you're making probably second only to your marriage, the biggest decision of your life is buying a home. And you want to talk to a person. You don't want to talk to a machine. And I pride myself on that. Being a loan officer, I don't give people my office number. They give me my cell number. Or you and I do business together, and it's so nice when they can call you on a Saturday and a Sunday and Louie, I have a question, or and you just answer their questions. They appreciate that.
Well, that's one thing I will say about Louie, and he's not the only one, but he's one that I can tell you from personal experience. I call him, I get a call back. I get a call back immediately, unless he's doing something. But he does. I know that I'm not going to have to wait a week or a day to get a return phone call, which is huge in our business because every time is of the essence. We need things to move fast.
It's kind of funny because I pride myself on this. I always tell people I'm old school with new technology.
Yeah.
And people ask, well, what does that mean? I says, I answer my phone.
Yeah. That's true. Where do you see the industry going 10 years from today?
I think that it's so competitive, and not just the real estate industry, more so because you guys are getting into stuff that we've been through. Now it's OfferPad for you guys.
Yep.
You're competing with Zillow.
Right.
You're competing, folks. The only thing I could tell you is stick with a real estate agent. They know the territory. They know the neighborhoods. They know what to put you in. And OfferPad doesn't know the market.
Well, the frustrating thing for me about OfferPad is they're out there, they have listings, so I have a question, and I want to call an 888 number,
Right.
and you get a different person each time. Some of them don't know what they're talking. So that's the frustrating part for me because you can't just get a person that knows the house and knows the market. It is frustrating.
Right. And again, same thing with us, And a lot of people go to the big banks because they feel safe. A Guaranteed Rate is one of the top 5 mortgage companies in the country.
Yep.
We do billions in business. So,
And you get a baseball park.
Yeah, there you go.
The White Sox.
Comiskey Park.
That's right.
It's now Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago.
Yep.
But what a lot of people don't understand is in our market, you go to you take a major bank. The difference between me and a major bank. Now you say, okay, our rates are pretty competitive. All right. So now you talk to a loan officer first time out at a major bank. He gives you the information. Next thing you know, you're no longer dealing with that loan officer anymore. Now you're dealing with processors, right? Try to get a hold of him the second time around. It's not going to happen. That's the difference. Personalized service. And I think, in my world, as a lender, if you don't have personalized service, you shouldn't be in the business.
No, I agree.
Same thing with real estate agents. If you don't give people personalized service, you shouldn't be in the business. They might as well go to OfferPad. What's the difference?
No, you're right about that. This is all personalized. You got to give them love and hand holding. And it's like you say, it's a big decision for people.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to spend $300,000 or $400,000. You're putting, you're putting up 10, 20, 30, 40, your life savings.
Yep.
To buy a home, especially in today's market. The way it is. People are overbidding on properties, and eventually it'll cool down. But
and the more inventory we get, it's going to help it. But boy, it is a mess out there right now. It's just so frustrating for me to go write an offer for somebody because here's a person that wants to buy. Mm-hmm. They've cleaned their credit up. They're doing everything right. Yet they can't get a house because they don't have the extra cash to pay the difference of the appraisal loss.
Right, I agree. What's happening is, as a lender, we're coming across that issue. But you know what? I'm going to give you a little secret. Because of what's been happening, you take somebody who a month ago overpaid let's say $30,000 for a house, and it appraised at, let's say the sales price was $400,000. We'll throw an example, and they overpaid because the appraised value came in at $370,000. Now that house in my world is worth $400,000 because that's what the sales price was. Mm-hmm. So the second time around, even though the next house might be $400,000, or $370,000, and you bid $400,000, the appraised value might actually come in at $400,000.
Yeah.
So, the market has changed, so the appraisers know that.
Yeah. No, they do. They really do.
Yeah.
But it has gotten a little crazy. What's your favorite part of the business?
The final result.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you hand the keys over to somebody that made them a homeowner,
Yeah.
they appreciate it. There's always that 1% that no matter what you do, you're never going to please.
Right.
But the 99% are wonderful, wonderful people, and they just appreciate everything you do
No,
all the way down
they,
the line.
they really do. And it is a great feeling
Yeah.
when you do hand over those keys
Ah.
and know this is their home. Their family's going to be raised there. And
Right.
build great memories, and that you had a little small part in that.
You know what? Look at our industry. What is the final result? You made somebody happy.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with that?
No, nothing at all. Nothing at all. It's a good thing. Let's do this. I want to talk about some other things here.
Sure.
Who were some of your favorite comedians growing up? Growing up, we'll say, and when you worked, even today.
Well, you have your old time comedians of, your Don Rickles of the world and Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh,
Rodney was a classic. You're never going to replace those. And then there's comics out there that I think are one is a guy by the name of Richard Jenny.
Oh, listen, I used to love that guy.
Yeah, unfortunately he's no longer with
Yes,
us. But
he was
what a funny guy.
hilarious.
Yeah, what a funny guy. And then you have comics, your middle of the road I shouldn't say they're very funny, but they're not very, very well known. Bobby Collins is one of them.
Oh, Bobby Collins is great.
He's a funny comic. There's many of them out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in the loop anymore, I watch stand-up, and as a comedian, and to make me laugh, you really have to be funny.
My top 3 comedians of all time. I forgot about Jenny. He could easily be in there, but it's Carlin,
Carlin's was
Dangerfield,
yeah.
and do you know a guy named Robert Schimmel?
Oh, Robert Schimmel, yeah, passed away.
Yeah, funny guy.
guy.
That's a sad story. The guy beats cancer. He has a heart attack, beats that. He gets killed by a drunk driver.
Yeah, and that's
No,
it.
yeah.
Robert
He was a funny dude. Look, there's nothing like a great comedy show.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good value,
Oh, man.
especially in Vegas.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
you go see these circ shows, and you're paying $150. Go to a comedy club, $40, 2 hours. You're having a great time.
Great entertainment. That's right. That's the greatest. Let's talk about something. I like to ask all the guests to come on, what are some of their favorite things about Vegas? Now, I think I know the answer to this question. What's your favorite restaurant in town? Does it start with an N?
Yeah, there you go.
Nora's.
There
Nothing comes close?
If you wanna, there's a lot of good Italian restaurants.
Yeah.
Just my personal favorite is Nora's, and you know why? It's reasonably priced. You get good quality food. You're not paying through the nose, and make a reservation because they are packed.
Well, that place is always crowded.
Always.
And you were telling me they come from the same town, village your mom came from, so they cook the same way.
Right. I'll equivalent to the best way I can explain it is I'll do it in American terms. I'm from Buffalo. They would be like from Rochester. Same type of quality food. So when I taste their sauce, I'm tasting my mother's sauce because in those communities, they all made them the same way. The meatballs were made the same way. The pasta was made the same way. So it's kind of I got this personal thing, It's like growing up, I feel like I'm eating my mother's food.
Sure.
And you and I have gone there all the
many
time.
times, yeah. What about a non-Italian restaurant? You got a favorite? Steakhouse or whatever, maybe anything?
There's a lot of. This is Vegas.
That's one thing about Vegas. Whatever kind of food you want, you can find the best
Right.
there is out there.
Right. I went to this one place years ago. I got to tell you the story. It's so funny. I don't remember that. It was Boston something. Boston. I can't remember.
Not Boston Market.
No. This was a pasta house.
Okay.
And it was Boston something. So I said, let's give it a shot. So my wife and I, my son and his wife and kids, so we went there. So everybody's ordering their food. So when it came to me, I said, I'll have spaghetti and meatballs. So they said, okay. No, I'm sorry. I said rigatoni and meatballs. So they bring out my food, and it's white pasta, 2 meatballs, no sauce. That's what I said. I said, where's the sauce? He goes, well, you didn't ask for sauce.
Sauce is extra?
No, I didn't pick a sauce because they had 20 varieties of sauces. But I was assuming,
They put something on
They
it.
put something on it.
Yeah.
So I should have. So they come back with the sauce, and I should have ordered it without the sauce.
Oh,
Yeah.
How about shows? You got a favorite show in town?
They're all good. You know, there's that new one show, Michael Jackson. That's excellent.
You saw it?
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't seen that
Yeah,
yet.
oh,
It is. Okay.
You know, that's an excellent show.
There's really not any bad Cirque shows.
No.
I didn't care for Zoomanity that much.
Well, Zumanity was an adult type.
Yeah, I guess that was kind of it just wasn't as exciting as say Love or Mystere
Yeah,
or
Love
Ka.
is great.
You
Right.
know,
Love is great. Mystere is great. You know, all the surf shows basically. You know, you're 99 out of 100. You're going to do well.
And then really the truth of the matter is you could pick any show on the strip at all. None of them are bad.
No.
You might like some better than others,
Right.
but none of them are bad.
Right. I'm Italian. I try not to pay.
Yeah. Well, I want one show. Some of the shows I don't care for. I only went once. Are these hypnotists? Have you seen those?
No, I don't do the hypnotist show.
You know, it just was. I don't know. I just couldn't find anything make me laugh. I'll tell you a show that was really good. We had free tickets. It was one of those things called ticketsforlocals.com, where you get free tickets. All you pay is a service fee, like $5.
Yeah.
Louie Anderson, who I knew who he.
Funny
Oh
guy.
my God, I knew who he
Funny
was. Just I've never seen him. So we go to Palace Station, and Carol and I said, "Listen, let's sit by the side, just in case he stinks. We can slip out." We didn't stop laughing from the minute he opened his mouth until the minute he shut it. He was hilarious.
When I first seen Louie Anderson, I seen him in the old Rodney Dangerfield Young Comedians.
Oh yeah.
That's where you got to start. You know how many people got their
Oh
starts
my!
on that
I just
show?
saw that show recently on
Right.
TV. Seinfeld was on there. I mean, so many
Yeah.
great comics.
Tons of them.
Yeah.
So I didn't think he was that funny back then. But then I seen him recently, and I cried. He was so funny.
Here's a guy I didn't care for much. May he rest in peace. I'm sure he's a great guy. It was Sam Kinison. Some people think he was a genius. I guess all the yelling and screaming, I guess didn't.
Sam Kinison was good for his time. He would never get away with what he got away with today.
Well, unfortunately, most comics couldn't.
Right.
Today, it's such a PC world, you almost can't say anything
It's
anymore.
kind of funny because I talked to a few of my comic friends who are still in the business, and they will not work college clubs. The college.
I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah, and I asked him why. He says you got to too politically correct, and no comic is politically. Very few comics, I shouldn't say no, but very few comics are politically correct.
Can you imagine someone like Rickles starting out today? Couldn't do it.
It was kind of funny. I watched All in the Family the other day, and I said this would never work today. Never.
At all. No, not at
Never.
all. We saw Rickles here once during. They used to have like a comedy. It was a 3-day show at Caesars. They did it for a couple of years, and someone gave us tickets for Rickles, and he was fantastic.
Yeah.
As old as he was, he still had it.
Rickles, he's a legend. These guys are legends. They made good money. They knew their market. Rickles is never going to pay a comedy club.
No.
You got guys like Pat Cooper.
Oh,
Remember
he was
Pat Cooper?
sure. I remember Pat
In his
Cooper.
prime, he was killer.
I'll tell you who I just heard on the radio was a guy named Scoey Mitchell. Remember him at all?
No.
Black comic.
No.
So, I'll tell you who else. Another one I saw that I didn't realize was funny. I thought he was just a radical. Was Dick Gregory.
Dick Gregory.
That
in his
guy was
time.
funny as heck.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of favorite comics today. Do you?
No, it's a different.
We're too old.
Yeah.
I don't
It's kind of
appreciate
like-
the young humor
Yeah,
as much.
it's kind of funny because we used to make fun of our parents going.
Now they're making fun of us.
Now they're making fun of us.
It's so true, man.
Yeah, because our parents grew up with Sinatra, and I love Sinatra.
Me too.
Those
Yeah.
guys. But my kids, they can care less.
Yeah. How about outdoor activities? I know you're a real hiker. I can tell you do a lot
yeah.
of hiking. But do you have any favorite outdoor activities?
Yeah,
in town?
I hiked to the mailbox.
That's a long hike, isn't it?
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
when there's bills there.
Especially in this heat. Oh, what are you kidding?
It is something with this heat, though. I mean, it doesn't bother me. But when you walk out and it's 114 from an air-conditioned building, you feel it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Last week I went out and ran the 40 in 5.2 seconds. And I got to tell you, that wore me out.
Yeah.
That was the longest 40 feet I ever ran in my life.
Oh, that's great, man. Listen, let everybody know how they can get a hold of you if they have any questions about mortgages.
Sure, yeah. It's Louie Cordone, a Guaranteed Rate. My phone number is 702-203-7920.
Say that again.
702-203-7920.
Okay.
Or you can reach me online. You can go online and fill out an application at rate.com/Louie Cordone, Louie Cordone. It'll go right to my website. And what other way you can reach? Just call me. Yeah, I want to let you know too. Today's market. We've talked about everything but the business we're in. We waive our lender fees for veterans. So
Yeah, that's big, man.
Yeah.
We're a veteran town.
Any veteran that calls me is going to save $1,290. I don't say I specialize, but I love working with veterans.
Yeah.
They have the best loan out there by far is a VA loan.
Absolutely.
And of course we do FHA. We do residential. Residential is equivalent to anything with 4 units or less. I'm on it. I pride myself for being there for you 24/7. So, feel free to call me, and I'll be more than happy to pre-qualify you. I'll make sure you have an approval or a pre-approval, and you walk in like a cash buyer.
There you go, brother.
I never give away pre-approval letters unless I know they're
No,
pre-approved.
I know you don't. Well, listen, man, thank you so much for taking the time and coming on.
This is it?
This is it, buddy.
Oh, gosh, I was hoping to do another hour.
I know. This is fun. This is really a lot of fun.
We're going to start doing our shtick.
There you go. All right, listen, everybody. We're going to be off next week, but we'll be back the following week with Larry Goldstein, who is a business broker. Real interesting guy. Louie, thanks, my man.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Appreciate
I really
you, buddy.
Appreciate it.
You got it. Have a good day, everybody. Have a good weekend. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and stay cool. Bye-bye.